Far-left activists making good on their promise for a night of rage after rampaging through downtown Atlanta for an anti-police protest. They set a cop car on fire, smashed windows, spray-painted buildings, and trashed businesses. Police say some even had explosive devices. 6 people have been arrested, seen here smiling or stone-faced in their mugshots. And they're now facing charges of domestic terrorism. That's a felony that could lead to serious jail time. The violence is the culmination of months of fighting over a proposed police training center. So last week, police tried to clear protesters from that area when one of the activists shot and wounded a Georgia state trooper. Police returned fire and killed that suspect. The chaos has the city on edge, but the media does not seem to agree.
I think that there's a real blurring of the lines in the use of the word violence. Is property destruction violence? To some people, it certainly is. You keep using these words, violent, 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 violent. The only acts of violence against people that I saw were actually police tackling protesters.
But the mayor of Atlanta and its police chief are pushing back against that particular claim.
The crimes range from violence to domestic terrorism to assault and battery and some other things. But yes, it is violent when someone turns to burn down a police car or break out windows or have explosives on them.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist or an attorney to tell you that breaking windows and setting fires is not protest. That is terrorism. And that they will be charged accordingly. And they will find that this police department and the partnership is equally committed to stop that activity.
Greg, isn't it strange that a media's instinct would be to not defend the mayor or the police chief in this situation in a big city?
Yeah, I just wish we had evidence of violence because I clearly didn't see anything there that warranted calling these people violent extremists. I don't know where you guys get this stuff. I'm just really, really saddened. What happened to the new leaf that CNN was going to turn over, right? I mean, this is kind of like Will Smith returning to the Oscars and then slapping somebody. They spent 3 years being ridiculed for downplaying violence, right? CNN, mostly peaceful, blah, blah, blah. Then they had, I just imagine the producers, when they had that guy on there, were going, oh, my God, I can't believe we're doing this again. We swore we were never going to say mostly peaceful. We swore we weren't going to, be apologists for terror. And then it happens, and there they are. It is interesting, though, you have to ask yourself, why do people say these things? And when it so clearly goes against the things that you see. And it happens all the time. And it's ideology. This is the perfect example. Ideology is designed to cause people to deny reality, right? It's there in front of you. These people are committing acts of violence. You say it's not happening. That is because it doesn't jibe with your reality, your ideology, the ideology that you agree with. So it's really personal. So when you see this happening, you have to deny it. And then you look at the people that are, and you wonder, how is Antifa still here? And you have to remember, they were elevated. They were elevated by the media. They were approved because they were anti-fascist. Who's to say protests can't be violent, the famous Cuomo line. CNN had a way of picking the losers. You know, they picked Antifa, they picked, what's that terrible lawyer, Avenatti, they picked Smollett, they picked Andrew Cuomo. Everybody that they seem to say is, good ends up bad. And a lot of, I think all of those that were arrested were not even from Georgia, let alone Atlanta, Judge. And the police chief said they are going to be charged.
Yeah, as well they should be. And, it's interesting, Greg, when you talked about ideologies, you said my ideology and their ideology. And the one word you didn't use was reality, because it's not about reality anymore. It's about ideologies. They decide whether something is real or not real. Mm-hmm. And that's the sad part about what's going on. And I think that, this is the summer of 2020 all over again. So we have to kind of ask ourselves, didn't we graduate from that? Didn't we get beyond that? The truth is no, that what's happening is it's like defining deviancy down. It's like even though all that happened, we're continuing to chip away at the fundamental, at one of the pillars of America, which is law and order. And this takedown is becoming more and more acceptable by people saying, well, that's not violence. And I looked it up. Violence, using or involving physical force intending to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Okay? So let's not play word games, and let's not make believe this is something that it isn't. This is a group from out of state that is part of an organization that is intent on taking down America. And that's what they're going to continue to do. And kudos to this mayor who says, we're going to punish them. We're going to prosecute them. And by the way, speaking of 2020, didn't they say they wanted the police to be retrained? And that's where this all started. It was a training. They were starting a new training facility, not with government funds, but with police foundation funds, money they raised. And even though it's a training center, they want to take it down. They want to shoot a cop and not expect to get a response.
And the police, well, the police were trying to clear them so that they could actually start construction on a place where you would train police officers.
Well, I disagree with Greg, and we never disagree. But this wasn't a mistake by CNN. They booked this guy on purpose. In a breaking news situation behind the scenes on a Saturday, this isn't your regular guest. You have to go out and search for this guy. He's a no-name freelance reporter who was embedded with the tree-hugging Antifa members for many, many weeks. He knew them personally. He wrote an article about it. He said they were engaging, earnest, educated, well-read, and very funny. He called the guy that shot the cop a strategic thinker, and then said, you know, they were a little violent. They threw 2 ineffective Molotov cocktails in the direction of police, not at police, in the direction of police. So he says the same thing that he said on CNN in this article, and that's fine. You can book whoever you want, but to have some guy come out there and say this isn't violent and the cops probably started it and then not challenge him. Pam Brown's the anchor. You can't just have someone come on and just not challenge. Just pretend to be fair. That's what I do.
Yes.
I pretend to be fair. And they didn't do that. So another thing that I don't like. You keep saying, and I'm talking to you.
I know, because your finger was in.
He hasn't even said anything.
Yeah.
I'm preemptively attacking you. You keep saying that Antifa is loosely affiliated. Okay. Well, these are how many people that went across state lines to commit violence. You know how you guys hate people going across state lines.
With their guns, yeah.
Across state lines, commit violence, and then they get bailed out thousands of dollars. And then there's also another violent action up in Michigan on the night of violence that they called for. Loosely affiliated, this sounds like a national action. So I don't care if it's loosely affiliated or not, it's affiliated, and they're hurting people.
Well, they're not bailed out by an organization, right? There's no head of Antifa that says, we got some good guys doing some things in Atlanta, got to get them out of jail. Now I'm going to go bail out. What do you mean how I know?
How do you know where the money came from? You don't know.
Well, let's get someone to tell us. I can guarantee it that it's not the same things as how the Proud Boys work or the Oath Keepers work or any of these other
Are the Oath Keepers worse in this, do you think? I mean, you brought them up. I'm just curious, because I find that interesting. You know,
well,
they've been found guilty of sedition, but I don't know if they've done any. Have they killed anybody?
Yeah, exactly. Have they
I mean, dozens have died.
On January 6th,
they
didn't.
But shot anyone?
Did they kill somebody on January 6th?
I just said they didn't on January 6th.
Okay, fair enough.
It's Monday. I didn't say anything, and
no, you just mentioned them. That's why I brought it up.
No, I get it, and I answered your question. I said they didn't kill anyone on January 6th.
You answered it poorly, but
no,
continue.
I didn't. I answered it honestly, and I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy it.
Go to the other point. Forget the people who are getting bailed out.
I'm done with that. So the question is, you shouldn't say there's no violence. Just say this is appropriate violence, as far as I'm concerned. Like that guess. This is something that I think is okay. Right, because that's really what you're saying, because everyone can see what's going on, and no one who owns a store or shops in a store thinks that if you're getting a Molotov cocktail through the window or security guards being beaten up, that is not anything but violence. It makes me think back to what Killer Mike, who's Atlanta-based, was saying during the 2020 protests, where he actually said this is appropriate violence. People are this angry, and if there's destruction, that's something that I think is warranted. And Keisha Lance Bottoms, mayor of Atlanta, a Democrat, came out and said, absolutely not. Right? We cannot have this in the streets. So I would say that the argument is really over what people think is appropriate. And there are some folks who think that because they're being, pushed out of the woods and they're going to
that they don't own.
But I don't feel that way. I think they are domestic terrorists, and I think they should be charged as such. But I wish that people were more honest about what they're saying. Just say it is violence, but I believe it is justified for X, Y, and Z reasons.
They're all such white misfits. Did you look
Yeah,
at? There are
some
all
are
these
wealthy.
trouble.
They're
wealthy.
wealthy.
You see that woman, the congresswoman, talking about her transitioned son, who's now a woman. I'm not sure, who's just been arrested. They're all like the island of misfit toys, but the problem is they're not appealing. Generally, you try to do something positive in the world, even if you feel that you're like there's something unusual about you. They decided that they wanted to go bad, and they're not trying to help people. You know, they're not from that society. They're interested
They're
in
pissed off and misguided.
I don't even think they're pissed off. I think they're indulging their own attention-seeking desires.
They're definitely mad at police. I don't think you do things like this.
Why did they shoot a cop?
Because they're angry at them and they think that
really?
they are.
But it's like misplaced anger.
Yeah.
I actually think there's a lot of agmonagement here. Believe it or not. It's
I'm glad
Monday,
they could find it in the pile.
You're right. We're agreeing. We really are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.